Hello.
Hello, Melly. How are you doing?
Great, great. Everyone, we are having a Club HAWO event, video, where we invited Master Teacher Wanda to come speak with us today about her teaching experience and any advice that she could give to group class teachers. So
Yes.
welcome, Teacher Wanda.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why you're a teacher, how you came to teaching. So I'll let you kick it off.
All right. Well, actually, I had some really good teachers when I was in grade 7. A music teacher and an English teacher. And I thought, I really want to be a teacher. So back when I was in 13, I wanted to be a teacher. So back then, though, is you graduate high school, you get married, you have kids, and the university was way off. So my kids got a little bit older, but while they were growing up, I was volunteering in the schools, being a teacher's assistant, working in my church. I spent many years as a church Sunday school teacher, vacation Bible school teachers. Always loved working with kids. And then my kids got a little older. Then I went to university. And I said, yeah, I don't want to be in a classroom with 30 kids now. So it's like, I don't want to do it. But I still wanted to teach. And when I saw an ad for 5-1 Talk, it was like, this is it. This is so perfect. So that's how I've always been a teacher. And now I can actually be a real teacher. So it's so awesome working for this company. So
And
yes.
how long ago did you join us?
2017, in October 2017.
Great. All right. Thank you. So our next question is around classroom setup. So how is your classroom set up? What tools or props do you use to engage student learners?
All right. So basically, I live in a little apartment. So the wall behind me is actually a portable projector screen. So I pop it up and I stick my sunflower and my name on it. It's served me for the last couple of years. As for rewards and props, I use things, all magnets and a whiteboard. So it'd be like superheroes in New York, or it would be earn an apple on an apple tree. So
Excellent.
I have things like that. Also, for the younger ones, we have to do Cookie Monster and the monkey. It has to be every week, because Cookie Monster likes cookies, monkeys like bananas, and that's it. So I use a lot. So I have a lot of stuffed animals, have tons of laminate magnets. I write on my whiteboard. I have those are my reward systems, all laminates, and I've been using it for the last couple of years. Some of them are like they respond, and some of them are, yeah, right on, superheroes. So it's worked out pretty good. That was my style. I had to figure out what it was that I wanted to do. So a lot of teachers do other things, but you have to kind of pick your own style, and that's what I'm comfortable with. That's what my other kids are comfortable with. So that's what I use.
Excellent. Excellent. So how about in terms of like tech? I know you have the board behind you, but how about lighting, camera,
Oh,
anything unique about that?
the light. Well, I have an adjustable desk, and so I have all my stuffed animals and toys under the desk. And I have these clamp lights. So, whoops, I have a clamp light on the sides.
Oh,
So it's not high tech, but it does the job. And then beside my desk is a big storage bin of 3 drawers, and it has my arts, crafts, scissors, laminator stuff, and I have I have this file folder, and it's like, oh, what did you do in school today? Stuff like that. So I have things close by. So if they look at me like, what? Then I say, oh, what you do in school? So I have this stuff close by me, like the clock in the calendar and stuff. But basically, it's just your 3 drawers, your clamp lights, your projector screen, and I'm good to go. So,
excellent. Excellent. Very good. All right. So let's talk a little bit about bridging the gap. So how do you express authentic interest or build relationships with students, especially the younger students, or maybe even the older students too?
For the younger students, it's hi, how are you? But what I started doing, because I know a lot of them are shy and they don't have much confidence. So what I started saying was like, after the second class, I'll say, you can speak Chinese. So yeah, I can speak English, but you can speak English and Chinese. Wow. And they're like, so kind of like, then they know, they know more than the teacher. So I think that kind of brings them down and they're more relaxed and they're able to talk. And of course, I always do that with every student I have, every new student. It's always that way. You can do two, I can do one. And they're like, wow. So bridging the gaps too, it's what did you do on Saturday? What did you do on Sunday? What did you do? So I'm not content with saying, hi, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. And you? It's like, and so when they say that, I say, well, what does fine mean? And they're like, what? So I say, what does fine mean? Does it mean you're happy? Are you sad? Well, I'm happy. Well, why are you happy? Why are you sad? And so we have conversations like that. And I'm in class at least 3 to 5 minutes before class. There's always one kid wanting to talk, and that's when we bond. So we have good bonding. There's the older students. I say to them, "What's new and exciting?" What? And so you explain it to them. Oh yeah, this week I went to basketball and I had ballet dance class. So it's the open-ended questions. I don't accept the I'm fine. So it's like, well, why? So that's what I do. A lot of open-ended questions. I know a lot about their families, their cultures. I know a lot about what they do on the weekends because I want to know. I want them to relate. And I want to know them as a person. And I think that's why a lot of my students stay with me for a long time. So, and after a while, you start to know the parents too, and they come to the screen. How are you? How are you? I sang happy birthday to one of the parents. So
Oh, how
yeah,
cute!
I had a little birthday cake and a candle. It's my mom's birthday. So she comes to the camera. So we're bonding not only with the students, but we're bonding with the parents too, which makes a big difference because if they're active in their children's lessons, then you have such a good lesson. So yes, but that's how I bond. Many open-ended questions.
All right, so our next question is about classroom tools. So how do you use AC in the classroom to engage and enhance learning for the students?
AC goes along with the lessons. If we're talking about airplanes, then I'll put up, I don't know, some water and the airplane flies above it. If we're talking about cooking class, I can put the chef's hat on. I take a pot and pan and a little fork and I cook. Hey, what do you want for supper? Stuff like that. So I talk in the Italian and they're like, oh. So mechanics, I put the mechanic stuff on. So I can go into the role playing. They can understand. Um, they like they like that eagle that flies, but a couple of my boys liked taking little guns and shooting the eagle. So I thought, let's switch over to like a happy face or something.
Yeah,
I don't want to encourage gun use.
yeah.
So yeah, so I use the AC, and I find when my kids are starting to tune out a little bit, then that's when I pop a mustache on or a wig on through AC. I just absolutely love AC. So it kind of brings them in, it draws them back, and then they're able to focus a little bit better. So AC is awesome. Yes, really
Great.
enjoy it this year.
Great. Okay. And let's talk about getting students moving. All right. So how do you facilitate action and movement? Right. This is so important in learning.
I
How do
know.
you do that in the classroom?
The little kids are no problem because they like to dance and they like to wiggle. Uh, 30 minutes into it, they're like so tuning out. And so what I've learned to do is like, oh, do you have an English book? Do you have a Chinese book? And they're getting their books because they love to show books. Love it. And I said, well, what page? Show me the page. And I get really close to the camera and I'm looking. So we're kind of, they forget what they have to do. They're going to get the books. So it's for them, it's to go get something. The older kids, you don't need to make them jump and dance. They're just happy chatting about basketball or ballet or whatever. Sometimes level 4 is a little bit tricky because they're just really tired and they're done. When they come to class, they're done. And I'll say, yo, let's go get that. And they're like, they sit back like that. It's like, never mind. So I'll say, oh, okay, so do you play soccer? Well, what? Show me how you kick a ball. Like, I don't know, right? Like, so they're okay. Well, and then they'll kick the ball with their foot. So try to get a little stuff like that in with them. But they are tired, and I have to take that into consideration too. They're not going to run around and stuff. I probably could do a lot better getting more ideas, but level 4 is a little tricky. The young ones, no problem. The older ones are no problem. And let's stretch. We do stretches and stuff like that. Just a little bit of body movement. Or I encourage them also to get a fruit, get a drink, and it gives their energy, right? Some of them might not think they're allowed to eat in my class, but I want them to. I want them to have the sugar. You need to move. So they'll have like, they'll be eating supper or having, oranges and apples and stuff. And it keeps them in. So I don't mind food and drinks in my class at all. So it's the books, the food and the drinks, and show me how, and show me your books. So yes, that's what I do.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, how about making learning visible? So how do you create opportunities for students to show what they've learned, so you can gauge as the teacher who's getting what you're teaching?
Yes. So we have a topic about I don't know, feeding a dog or something. And I will say, well, do you have a dog? And they'll say, yeah, well, so show me your dog. Well, do you have to feed the dog? So there's so many questions in their lives that I go beyond the page. It's like, well, what do you do? How do you feel? And what does mom and dad do? So those are lots of, they can apply all that lesson to their own personal life, and it helps them to talk more and converse more. So that's what I usually do, is just always ask questions, always ask.
Good,
Yes.
good, excellent. And how about, as a group class, we have this great opportunity to have peers learn from each other. So right? So how do you do that in your classroom?
Okay, so peer to peer is when I show up to class. My kids have known each other for over 2 years, right? A lot of them, so they're already talking. So the challenge is when I come to class. Okay, it's English now, not Chinese. So they switch over, they convert. For peer to peer, I get them to, well, I put their cameras up, or I'll say, ask Joe this. Or if I see a student struggling with instructions, like I actually made this, I don't know if you can see it. Whoops, it's a submit button.
Oh.
Click, click, click submit, and do you see that? And so I made that, I copied that off. So if they still don't understand this, then I will ask one of the more advanced students, hey, can you tell Joe in Chinese how what I'm
Oh.
saying? So they will explain it. And there's one little fella, Steven, in one of my classes, and he just knows. He knows when a student is struggling, and he'll say, oh, the teacher wants you to do this, and he'll speak in Chinese. So they're comfortable. They're comfortable in class, and they talk to each other. They send pictures in their chat box to each other, and I encourage that. I encourage them to send me pictures and type, and so they're typing to each other. And when I ask a question, and I know that a student is struggling, I'll hear someone, do it this way, do it this way. And I was like, I can hear you, but I want them to do that. I want them to feel free, comfortable to talk to one another, but not when I'm talking. So
Right.
so peer to peer is not too bad. The older students, they still help each other out, and they explain things in Chinese if it's just not going through. And it's just open. It's open and it's comfortable. So it's, no problem with the peer to pairs. So yes.
Great, great.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's finish it up then with your advice to your fellow teachers. Can you give them some words of wisdom on how to be a master teacher like yourself?
Master teacher, I don't know. My philosophy is just be prepared. Show up on time, show up early, make the kids talk and just get to know your students. They're little people. They're just little people that want to learn, and they're eager, and they're afraid, or they're scared, or they're excited. Every little student has a different personality, and it takes a little while to get to know them and to learn what they like, if they're a visual learner or rote learner, and get to know them, and they'll love you. They'll love you, and they'll keep coming back. So that's what I've learned over the years. Yes.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time. We
Yes.
appreciate you sharing your wisdom with everyone. So thank you. And
Yes.
yeah, thank you so much.